Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Tsongkhong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dubden Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of the group practice today. Amitabha Tathagata of Sukawati, the western pure land of utmost bliss. Sumu, Tanjung Katsu, Dubden City, Dubden Kama. All Dharma masters, Dharma lecturers, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma teaching assistants, temple and center directors, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Good evening, everyone. How do you do?
Hola amigo, que quiero mucho. Sugoin, Ichiba, Kimoji, Junmi, Yabi, Punimpiri, Komawa.
First of all, let's welcome those from Malaysia, 24 disciples. Today, I would first like to say something about Sung Yen Lu Foundation. In principle, the foundation, the scope of the foundation has been stabilized. The CEO of the foundation, Lu Fo-Ching, told me the recipients of the foundations are all in the state of Washington. There are many charitable foundations in the Washington states, or there are many charities, so it will regularly help the Jian An nursing home and the ICHS, the hospital, and also have granted many scholarships to poor students with good merits. Those are the basics. And of course, we have supported Nepali earthquake, and we also built schools in Nepal, Haiti, to help with the earthquake in Haiti, and also we have provided disaster relief support globally, and primarily in medical care, and to help the less the less advantage students, and we have been supporting the scholarships very regularly. So the CEO, the Dr. Lu Ho-Ching, told me that recently, in a few years, it will be transferred because it's, in her opinion, that the grants came from True Buddha School disciples. They made donations to help the Seng Yen Lu Foundation. And it would change to become disaster relief charitable organization. So it will not be limited to only the state of Washington in America, but will be globally, because the True Buddha School disciples come from all over the world. And the funds also come from all over the world, donated by the True Buddha School disciples. So it will become the global disaster relief charity. So any disasters occurring in the world, we will provide our support and funds there. So any disasters or poverty will be helped rapidly. Like in Africa, and a poor or needing smaller countries like Ethiopia, where they live in grass huts without clothing. And children have no food to eat. So poor and sick. So not only helping with the medical care, but also with the rebuilding after the disasters. So it will provide reliefs to the disaster areas very swiftly. So that's the goal of the Seng Yen Lu Foundation. So the Seng Yen Lu Foundation will not be limited to only the United States, but will be all over the world. So, one more thing, if even after Grandmaster leaves the world, the Shen Lu Foundation will continue to operate. If the first generation has passed, the Shen Lu Foundation will continue to operate. And even after the second generation passes, there would be the third generation. It would be generation upon generation. And thank you to the disciples. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the True Buddha School disciples. And thank you to all disciples who have supported and donated to the Shen Lu Foundation. Question by Lianhua Ani from Malaysia. This is the Q&A. The questions. Sentient beings, life after life, due to ignorance, keep spinning endlessly within the system of samsara, never reaching an end. Siddhikarma Bodhisattva made a compassionate vow, I will not attain Buddhahood until hells are empty. And Grandmasters, you also made a compassionate vow, life after life I will deliver sentient beings. But we all know that sentient beings are forever bound by greed, anger, and delusion. In reality, we all know, especially humans, their bad habits and temperaments continually persist. To fulfill such a grand vow seems without end. Since this is the case, why, at the moment of rebirth, all of our memories from previous lives are completely erased? Doesn't that mean there is a serious flaw in this cycle? Because it is precisely the lack of memory that causes humans to repeatedly make the same mistakes. So how can the hells ever become empty? So if in the next life we are reborn in the Saha world again, without memory from our past mistakes, we will surely accumulate more karma. So this leads to endless cycle. So when and how can karma be fully eliminated? That's the question. Why, when we are being reborn, the memory from past lives are all erased? They should remember their past lives, so they don't repeat their mistakes. That's what she meant, right? Now I would like to ask everyone, which wise and knowledgeable one can answer? What she meant is, when you are reincarnated into this life, you forget or forgot all of your past lives. So you continue to create karma. Endlessly. Anyone has a high opinion? Let's discuss it together. Why must we forget memory from the past? That's the question. Nobody raises their hand. Please say it again. Okay. Microphone. Give the microphone.
这个问题只是给大家参考一下，因为我曾经
This is for
看到过，
reference.
就是人类呢是
Once I saw
所以有一套系统，
that
就是让人类呢
humanity
不断的去忘记之前的这个
are sinners,
事情，让它
so
重新再
to
激
let
发
humans forget
通
everything
过各种贪
and
嗔痴
then
的这个磨
start
练，不断的激发，去突破它的。
to go through greed, anger, and delusion,
所以
and to
就是
break the
应该说宇宙
basic
更大
nature
的系统
again.
里面，就是有一个像程序一样，就是故意让
So we can say there's a system in the
前世
grain
的所有
of the universe is to let humans to forget
更
everything
有
from the
更大的
past,
突破。
so
如
that
果
we
无
can
法突
break
破的话，
through
就
even
永远都
better.
会在这个
If
系
you
统里面
can,
不断的轮回。
then you would
谢
always
谢。
cycle in this system. Anybody else?
对不起，是就是说，
Sorry, I must.
这个像是做开示的妙明真心，
Based on Grandmaster's teaching on the wondrous, luminous, true mind, so that we can have such mastery in each and every lifetime. Microphone fine.
顶礼师佛。
Homage to Grandmaster.
其实我对这个问题有所怀疑，因为我觉得所谓的人不能看到因
I
果，
doubt
但是
this
事实上我们每一次都跟着因
issue.
果在轮回。
Everyone cannot see karma, but we follow the karma in our
都是
incarnations.
前世的故人，
Like what Grandmaster said, everyone we meet is
忘记
an old acquaintances, so we don't forget, we still remember, because samsara is eternal, so that's why we come again and again. Anyone else?
师尊，我在这边，在你右手边。
Okay, Master, I'm here.
我是觉得，其实，如果一个人知道他哪
I
天要
think
死的话，我觉得其实他可能不会这么努力的做有些事情了。
If everyone knows they're dying that day, then they would not
他
work
会
very
被这个东
hard.
西框住。也许
If
这
a
辈子不
person
想
knows
上来
about their
做
past,
最好可以用
then
这
they
些
would be
遗忘
restricted
就
or
是
bound
放
by
过
it.
去。如果有
And
像
if you
师尊
forget
这样
about the
的
past, then you can
方向
cultivate
是能
better.
指引你的话，
If we have someone like Grandmaster, the Great Master, to guide us, then we can still get onto the right path, which is what we need.
邱慧玲顶礼师尊，顶礼阿弥陀佛。
邱慧玲 Mr. Grandmaster and Amitabha Buddha.
念经的时候常会知道说
When we read the sutras, we know
前世因今生受者是，欲知今世因前世。
So what we experience in this life are the effect of the past lives, and then what we create in this life will happen in the future. So actually the memories in the consciousness, the alaya consciousness. So whatever you do in this life, how to be close to Buddha Dharma is by experiences extreme suffering or joy through greed, anger, and delusion, and then you want to study Buddha Dharma. So in this lifetime, we can encounter Grandmaster's Buddha Dharma is to let Grandmaster to guide us, and with these affinities we all come to the true Buddha big family and know about our past lives. Actually, all you said were reasonable. All of your opinions are right. However, according to the Buddha, he stated, this is inconceivable. Inconceivable, beyond imagination. There are a few things that are inconceivable. One is karma. Karma is inconceivable. The inconceivable karma. It's mentioned in the Surangama Sutra. There are individual karma and shared collective karma. Because you have created a collective karma in the past lives, the reincarnation or rebirth would be different. The time and place of the rebirth would be different. But with shared karma, then they would go to the same place. So the individual karma is suffered individually, but the collective karma will be experienced by the whole country, say. So this is the inconceivable karma. Karma is inconceivable. It's beyond your imagination. It's something that you cannot even fathom or think about. Unless they are the wise and supreme one that can guide you so that you can correct yourself by your own power. In my own case, I first started to believe in Jesus Christ, in Christianity, until high school. In high school, I was a Bible study teacher. And also the Bible study, Mark, Matthew, Lucas, John, and Corinthians. And I know that when you open the Bible, at the center is the Psalms. There are 7 verses, 7 period from Genesis, starting from Genesis is the beginning where the God created heaven and earth. And when God created heaven and earth for 6 days, and He rested on the 7th day. That's why we all rest on Sundays. From Genesis to altogether 7 of them. That's in the Old Testament. So why did I follow Christianity? What can I say? That's because I like a lady, a neighbor's girl, a neighborhood girl, and she was a Presbyterian Christian. So I followed her to the church all the way to high school. And then I went to Taichung for college. And in college, because I was bound by karma, I went to the Jade Emperor Temple, a very small temple that some of you have visited. And I was awakened there. You have a decree or a mission to deliver sentient beings. And then they brought me for the whole night to travel through the heavens. That's the manifestation of the wondrous luminous true mind. Traveling all over the heavens, have seen all the scenes in the heavens. So I knew about my own past lives. And I was guided and pointed that I will deliver sentient beings in the future. I would deliver sentient beings in the future. So that's why there is Sang Yen Lu of today's. But I'm the one that will not forget my foundations. Christianity has its own principles, and Buddhism, and so does Taoism. So I still revere Jesus Christ and believe Him. So this is karma. So the Sea of Galilee, it's actually a lake, That's the place where Jesus Christ spread the Gospels. That's in Palestine. Jesus was a Jew, but his disciples were Palestinians. Therefore, the Palestinians have the collective karma. Back then, when he delivered his disciples, like Peter, a fisherman from the Sea of Galilee, the 12 apostles. One of them was a lawyer, more educated. But the rest were not from the high society. However, they have a very strong faith following Jesus. That's also karma, karmic. Because I had affinity with Palestine in the past. That's why I grew up in Christianity, like Bethlehem or Jerusalem and the Sea of Galilee. Those were very clear to me in my mind. That's also karma from past lives. That's why I immerse in Christianity, and then Taoism, and only then Buddhism, Sakyamuni Buddha. It's also considered a karma in my life. To be born in Taiwan too is also karmic. And to grow up in a certain family is also karmic. And whatever you encounter is also karmic. Karma and reincarnation. You can't escape them. Why? Why is it like this? Because of the causes in the past lives. In the Saha world, there are causes and effects. So, and karma and retributions, rebirth and transmigration, they are all controlled by karma, by the power of karma. Frankly speaking, to let you know what the past lives are, that your habitual tendencies in this lifetime still unchanged, still stick around. Even if you know that you have done something horrible in the past life, and you want to change it, you cannot. That's because you're bound by your karma, by the power of karma. Sakyamuni Buddha used many methods. Like humans have 84,000 kinds of ailments or sicknesses or karma. So Sakyamuni Buddha has 84 different kinds of Buddha Dharma to deliver sentient beings and to give the appropriate remedy for the illness. That's inconceivable. It's beyond imagination. Even if you know, even if it's known to you, some people still cannot liberate themselves. Why? Because you're bound by the power of your own karma. Unless you have practiced Buddhism and you have power to eradicate your own karma. Only then you would be able to attain the wondrous luminous true mind. Otherwise, the causes of the past life and the effects or the results in the present life. But the effects or the results of this present life would become causes, and it will become the results or effects in the future life. So that's the reincarnation or the transmigration. So what you do in this present life can tell you what you have done in the past life. If you still cannot correct yourself, then it will happen again in the future lives. Continually cycling. That's how the cause and effect, karma and retributions are all about. If you can change, you must rely on the power of your own spiritual cultivation. No matter what has happened in the past, if you can make the power of your spiritual cultivation is greater than the power of your karma, then you can leave behind the sufferings, birth and death, and be reborn in the Pure Land. And because the wondrous luminous true mind is on everybody's body, by understanding the wondrous luminous true mind, you apply it, implement it, then you can change your own destiny, you can change your own karma. Then you can attain the Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, the unexcelled perfect enlightenment. Then you can be in control of yourself, have self-mastery, and don't have to be bound by rebirth or reincarnation again. So in terms of worldly dharma, it talks about cause, effect, karma, and retributions. In terms of transcendental, beyond worldly, because you cultivate spiritually, you enlighten, and you have manifested the wondrous luminous true mind, then you can abandon the rebirth cycle and samsara. That's why we want to treasure Buddha Dharma. This is it. Otherwise, you will continually cycle in samsara. The vows made by Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva or by Grandmaster are as such. To apply 84,000 different Dharma doors to alleviate the 84,000 different kinds of karma or illnesses of sentient beings. That's why the Buddha remedy according to the illness. Because you have this illness, you're given this remedy to alleviate it so that you can transcend and be reborn in the Pure Land and have attainment and not be reincarnated again, liberated from the rebirth cycle. Some people can still remember the past lives, and Grandmaster had too. We all know Grandmaster because Grandmaster has cultivated spiritually. I would know or remember how I died in my past life.
我死的时候看着周边的人，
When I was dying, I saw all the people around me looking at me,
周边的人
and I was looking at all the people around me, remembering all their faces, so that in this lifetime
我们就是重逢。
we are reuniting. We meet again.
是有人能够记忆前世的事情，
So there are people who can remember things from past lives,
因为他的修行的关系。
and that's due to spiritual cultivation.
所以师尊过去是做了
So what Grandmaster has done in the past lives,
有缘的人重新
and people with affinities would reunite again,
痛哭流涕呀、
and crying their hearts
上
out.
礼拜不是哭得要死，
Like last week I did, right?
就碰到前世的人啊，
Because I encountered people from past lives.
你知道隔世重逢哎，
So reunion
那个死
from past life.
那他自己本身也知道，
And she knew too.
所以一见面他就说是
So as soon as we met,
师尊
she said, I would like to ask Grandmaster to confirm. And I said, no need, you are.
结果两个人都流泪。
And then both cried.
隔世重逢，
So reunion across lives,
喜极而泣呀、
across lifetimes. So this is
见面几天，
called short joys, only getting together for short few days and then separation again.
人生不过是生死，
Human lives are only about births and deaths.
爱情不过是
Romantic love is just about getting together and growing apart.
心情也不过是高兴
Emotions
跟忧伤。
are just joy and grief.
生活也不过是好坏，
Life is just about good and bad, good or bad.
这个才叫人生。
That's human life.
所以你过去做了什么，
So what you have done in the past lives, whatever you suffer, that's it. So whatever you do in this life would become the effects in the future lives.
对是轮回。
That's also
所以我们要好好
reincarnation or cycle.
好好学习这个。
That's why we should cherish and practice, study and practice the teachings of Sakyamuni Buddha so that you can eradicate your own karma.
好像藏着的净土中，
And in the future, by relying on the chanting, mindful chanting of the Pure Land School, there is a method to become a Buddha in 7 days. Practice well,
将来自己也会有成就。
so in the future you can also have attainments.
你
then you don't need to be reincarnated again. Otherwise, you're still bound by the rebirth cycle. Then, of course, hells will never be empty. And the same with the Saha world, that at the end, it's still creation, development, deterioration, and emptiness. So, this would be clearer, right? Generally. Since she mentioned Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva, in the Siddhigarbha Sutra, there is a chapter it's the chapter on comparing merits and virtues. Some merits are boundless and infinite. So whatever merits you have generated, you can go to a certain realm. You can become a Mahabrahma Deva. You can become a really wealthy man, wealthy person, or a noble person. Or you can go to the 28 heavens. And some merits is in the innumerable kalpas you will attain Buddhahood. It's mentioned in the Siddhigarbha Sutra clearly. Whatever merits you have generated, you would have the corresponding attainment. That's also cause and effect. After so much, let's share some jokes. Before getting on the train, Mom continually telling the kid, if the conductor asks you your age, say 5. And sure enough, the person who checked the tickets asked, how old are you? And he answered 5. And then the officer asked, you're so big. How many more days will you be? 6. And he replied, when we get off the train, the ticket inspector. Last week, I attended my ex-girlfriend's wedding. When the bride saw me, she asked me, who are you? So he said, oh, I came here to see you. Hey, I was chasing after the wife, and she said that I'd rather marry a dog than you. The son of a rich family drove a sports car and then hit something. And then he did not apologize and got really angry. Why didn't you run away when you saw my car coming? And the young man was just dumbfounded. And then the rich youngster said, continue. And then the kid slapped the rich guy. And why did you hit me? And then the kid replied, why didn't you avoid my punch, my fist? I often told my girlfriend, when you encounter a problem, don't be panic. Just drink a mouthful of water and you will come down. So that day, I slipped and fell into the water. And then the girlfriend was panicking and then told me, don't be panic, just drink a mouthful of water. Now let's discuss the Surangama Sutra. Sakyamuni Buddha told Ananda, although you have already awakened to the pure awareness of the wondrous and luminous nature of the mind, so that's the wondrous, luminous, true mind, that it is neither born of causes and conditions, nor of self-nature. Yet you still do not fully understand that this wondrous, luminous, true mind is neither produced from aggregates, so not dependent arising, not self-arising, and not from aggregates or combination, nor from non-aggregates. So neither from aggregates nor non-aggregates. So the Venerable Ananda So now I will now again ask you, you still think or have the idea, you still have deluded thoughts that all worldly phenomena arise through the agglomerations of deluded thoughts and causes conditions. And therefore you remain confused, thinking that the realizations of Bodhi also arises from agglomerations. So now I ask you, this pure and subtle seeing awareness that you now possess, is it inherent in brightness, in darkness, in openness, in obstruction? Sakyamuni Buddha asked him, so what is the wondrous, luminous, true mind combined with brightness or darkness, in openness or emptiness, or obstructions? So it's blocked. So Sakyamuni Buddha repeated again about brightness, darkness, openness and obstruction. So what does the wondrous luminous true mind is combined with what? But as I have said, it's not. So it's not combination, and it's also not combination. So none of those, nothing. So Sakyamuni Buddha repeated the words from the past to Ananda again. So if you say it is combined with brightness, then you can only see brightness. You can't see anything else. So you can see an appearance, but what would the mixed image look like? You can see many different visions. But if there is no wondrous luminous true mind, how can you see brightness? If you see brightness, then how can seeing perceive itself? If you see brightness, you cannot see darkness. If you see darkness, you cannot see brightness. So how can you see both? So brightness and darkness cannot be combined, cannot be together. So when our eyes see brightness, that's because your eyes is in union with the brightness. But can your ears see the brightness? You cannot. It will also be talked about here. That the wondrous luminous true mind is perfect, fully complete. That's why it's not an aggregate or combination. I just put it in simple terms. The wondrous luminous true mind is perfect and everywhere, and the only one, absolute. It's not combined with anything. So the rest, like seeing openness or emptiness, and you cannot see anything else. If you see clouds in the sky, then that's not emptiness. It's blocked by the cloud. The sky is blocked by the dark clouds. You cannot see the empty sky. But the wondrous luminous true mind is not like that. It's perfect. It's everywhere. So it's not a combination. It's not an aggregate, and the same with the rest. Darkness, openness, or obstruction. So once mixed, the pure nature of brightness would be lost. If brightness loses its clarity, then here it talks that the wondrous luminous true mind is not an aggregate, but everything else in the Saha world is an aggregate. Let me give you an example. You are an aggregate. Grandmaster too is an aggregate or combination. I often say this: the long sperm of the father and the round egg of the mother combined together become you. And so what are you? You're an aggregate of the earth, water, fire, and wind, the four elements. What are you transformed from? From the sperm and egg. And everything, materials are the same. A house is an aggregate. There are steel rods, cement, sand, earth, or soil to build a house. And our homes, our houses are wooden houses, so they need nails, iron, and wood to make a house. So a house is also an aggregate. Also glasses, wood, nails, steel, and tiles. So everything in this world is an aggregate. A car is comprised of metal, wood, plastics, and many things combined together to make a car. And the wondrous luminous true mind is not an aggregate, so it cannot be combined with brightness. Because if it is combined with brightness, you cannot see darkness. If it's combined with darkness, you cannot see brightness. If it's combined with the sky, you cannot see the dark clouds. And you're combined with the dark clouds, you cannot see the sky. So Sakyamuni Buddha is telling Ananda that the wondrous luminous true mind does not arise from dependent arising and also not from self-arising, that it is self-existing, it's not self-existing, and it's also not an aggregate. So what is it? It is inconceivable, as I said. It's unspeakable. So Sakyamuni Buddha explained as such, but still Ananda could not understand, even after so much explanations. A disciple said, "Okay, Master went to Korea and saw medicine Tathagata of the lapis lazuli light realm and sunlight radiance bodhisattva, moonlight radiance bodhisattva, medicine king bodhisattva, medicine lord bodhisattva, and the 8 great bodhisattvas and the 12 medicine generals." That disciple said, "That's causes and conditions. If you didn't go to Korea, if you didn't pay homage to Medicine Buddha, how could see Medicine Buddha and all his retinue that you saw?" But it is not causes and conditions. Why? Because I just went to pay homage to the Medicine Buddha. I did not think about wanting to see. I did not think or did not want to see anything. And they appeared. They just appeared. It's not because I wanted to see. They just wanted to let you know. In all Dharma realms, in all the cosmic space. You can reach That's considered a realm of spiritual cultivation. But it's not because I pay homage to Medicine Buddha that I saw Medicine Buddha and his retinue. It seems to be cause and effect, causes and conditions, but I did not have a thought about wanting to see or about seeing. So the realm of our enlightenment or realization is also like that. When you are enlightened, all of a sudden it's all open up and you understand everything. That's the appearance of the wondrous luminous true mind. It's not combined with anything. Otherwise, Grandmaster had that sighting, and then you followed Grandmaster, you went to Korea and you went to Daegu. That's one of the provinces, Cheonggu. And then you pray to Medicine Buddha, and you can see if the Medicine Buddha would appear for you to see. See, everyone is different. So I have this cause to go to Korea, to Gyeongju, I think, in pay homage to the Medicine Buddha. And then you also thought, I want to see Medicine Buddha, the 12 Medicine Generals, and all his retinue. But it's not everyone is the same. So you have the cause, but you don't have the result. So that's not considered cause and effect, and it's not a combination either. Because I was in union with Medicine Buddha, that's why I saw Medicine Buddha. That's not the case either. And it's not natural or self-arising either, that you just see it naturally. Then everybody can do that, but that's not the case. So Sakyamuni Buddha is continually explaining this, that in the material world, the whole Saha world consists of aggregates. Everything is aggregates in the Saha world. Earth and water combined, that's you. So that's an aggregate. So the combination of sand, water, and mud, that becomes a block. And this seat here is wood. When you create a form out of wood and then nailed together, it would become a chair. And there are colors and the materials and thread. So it's not called thread or color, it's called clothes. Everything is an aggregate. So I find Sakyamuni Buddha to be really worthy. Just explain yourself, that's good enough. There's no need to talk to Ananda that much. And talking about the 18 realms, rather talk about no, this the prayer of words. So talking about 6 consciousness, the 5 aggregates, and we'll talk about that in the future. So Surangama Sutra is like a thesis. So it's like writing a thesis. It's really very dry. So I just give an example. It's not self-arising or natural, and it's not dependent arising or causes and conditions, and it's not an aggregate or combination, and it's also not non-aggregates. So because there is a wondrous luminous true mind in everything, it's just that you have forgotten the wondrous luminous true mind. So all you see is illusions and false, very false and illusory seeing. Everything that we see is very false and illusory. And the boyfriend and girlfriend are arguing, and then the boyfriend was trying to make up and then play with the girlfriend's cat. And then the girlfriend scolded, "Why are you playing with the pig?" And the boyfriend said, "But this is a cat, it's not a pig." And then the girlfriend said, "Oh, I'm talking to the cat. Why are you interrupting?" What is the most money that you spend that you waste money? The worst is that you try to save money by going to the department stores for aircon, but then you forgot to turn off the aircon at home. Or even after breaking up for 2 years, I'm still paying the monthly loan for her iPhone. The most unfair wasting. I was trying to test my IQ, but it turned out the result was that I have no intellect. This is a joke of Hui Jun. The chubby ones are always sexy because every clothes that they wear are all tight clothing for Mani Padme Hum.